I mean, whatever it was last show, it's like 10 degrees colder. 15! For Christ's sake. I'm going to pour my coffee directly onto the ice from my previous... I can't get the ice out. I know. Oh, God. Guys, I got to get this coffee down. Oh, my God. So my wife is watching this show the other day. You ever hear of this? My 1,000-pound sisters. This is where they have like two of the most fat, disgusting animals. Like, I don't know what the point of this show. I come around the corner and I'm telling you right now, I can't hold it in anymore. I said, who are these two, to my wife, who are these two fat pigs? Oh, you sound so ugly when you talk like that. Yeah, well, what am I supposed to say? Oh, wow, I don't know. Who are these lovely women we have here? I mean, they were the two sloppiest porky pigs you've ever seen in your life. They have a disease. Yeah, they can't stop eating. That's the disease. Listen, I'd love to sit here and grow to 550 pounds and tell you I have a disease. Yeah, Tootsie Rolls. I can't stop eating Tootsie Rolls. Let me tell you something right now. It's like people that do drugs. They're going to sit there and they're going to cry into the camera at me, okay? Number one, which induces bellowing laughter from me. Just because I can't, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm psychologically destroyed at this point. And they're going to tell me, listen, you know how fun it is to work your way up to 500 pounds? You have no idea. This is double quarter pounders with cheese by the dozen. So I can't feel bad. You had a wild ride getting there, honey. Oh my God, it was onion rings and French fries and soda pop. You understand? By the 2-liter jug. Cookies. Can you imagine the reams and reams of cookies? Oh my God, Ritz crackers? Hey, I'll do tonight's a 5-sleever. Yeah, I'd love to sit there and eat a sleeve of fucking Ritz crackers. But I have a conscience. For Christ's sake, the salt, for God's sake. It's the cake, Entenmann's cakes. 2 or 3. Some people have a piece of Entenmann's cake for them is the Entenmann's cake. Oh my God! I'd stack up the. Get me on that show. The Entenmann's marshmallow fudge cake boxes. I'd stack them up in my room. Are you kidding me? It would look like pillars when you came in, like a Roman Colosseum, made of. Marshmallow fudge Entenmann's cakes. Oh my God. Has there ever been a better cake on planet Earth? When I ate that, I was like, this is what cake is supposed to taste like. You ever get cake from a bakery and you're like, when you eat it? Yeah, bakery cake is shit. I never understood that. I was like, when you would go to somebody's birthday party and have actual like bakery cake, you're like, did you ever hear of Carvel or Entenmann's? This is what cake should taste like. A Carvel ice cream cake? Give me a goddamn break. With that big gel bomb. I want that big gel bomb flour they put on there. Oh my God. Give me the garbage. Give me the garbage. You know what I would do if I was 600 pounds? I'd get a phone book. And I'd start looking up when everybody had birthday parties. And then they'd show up around 9 o'clock at night. Say, oh, who's this? I say, hey, listen, I know you just had a birthday party. You probably had some ice cream cake. I know everybody scraped the icing off onto their plate. So would you mind just scraping all the rich jelly, gel bomb, rigid, ribboned Sugar Bomb Louie fucking decorations onto the fucking one plate. They come to the door. It's heaping with flowers, letters from names. Are you kidding? The gel letters. You're eating the gel letters and the gel's all over your chin. You fat slob. I'd have my shirt off. The gel's dripping off my tits. Are you kidding me? Come film me. Come film me. Come on. I'm supposed to feel bad for these people? It was a mighty fucking party. Heading to the top of that scale. It's the same thing with broads on TV. You ever see these crystal meth addicts? They come in, the broads, the teeth are all knocked out. Who knows what happens to the teeth? I don't know if if the smoke deteriorates them, or if it's from smashing their heads through drywall walls. For some reason, people on crystal meth got to smash their head through a wall. I don't... And you're going to get off this drug? If I'm taking a drug that gives me the, I don't know, it gives me the notion to put my head through the side of a wall, this is a party. So they come in, I can't get off the crystal meth. And you're like, oh God, I got to feel horrible. And you do feel horrible. You say, oh my God, this girl, she threw her life away. But what you don't see is the decade of nonstop sex that led up to that. You understand? Because for some reason, when you take crystal meth, you can fuck for 24 hours straight. That's what they don't tell you. They're not going to tell you that in the rehab on the show. They're like, listen, guys, we got to get off the meth. I know, some side effects of crystal meth, it'll rot your teeth out. It does horrible things to your skin, pock marks, this type of thing. And, you're going to want to have sex for 24 hours straight. That's right. I mean... 24 comes in a day. Go ahead, put the pipe down now. Oh my God, you could turn into a certified, I don't know. You're like, I got chicks, and also you get girlfriends like nonstop. Because now you're railing chicks, and then you want nothing to do with them because you just want your drugs again. So chicks love that challenge. So next thing, but trust me, these crystal meth guys are not doing too bad out there. Yeah. So I mean, this is what we're talking about here. We got to feel bad for everybody. I got to watch these 600-pound pigs on TV, and then I go and I listen to a guy from World War II, a vet. Talk about how he went out in a B-17 bomber. Yeah. 35 missions and you were a free man. That's how it went. You came into the Air Force or whatever it was. They say you fly 35 missions and you go home. So right there, now the men have something to like shoot for, this goal to shoot for, to stress out about. I got to make it through 35. Yeah, try sleeping at night now. And when you find out that the survival rate is 40%, 60% of the men that went up in that theater against Germany, that bombing theater, they died. And one guy calculated it. He says, roughly, I said, knowing what I know, how many divisions and he says it's probably about close to 50,000 men just in a certain section of that the B-17 guys. So, and not only that, we're gonna fly the missions low altitude and in broad daylight, because we don't want to miss any targets. So hey, there you go, guys. All right, hop in the plane now. Hop in the plane, go up to altitude where it's not a pressurized plane and the temperature is 40 below in the cockpit. These guys they actually had heaters. Like, I think some type of coolant thing or something went through there. Did they have a heater or something? They had electronics so they could talk. They had something else plugged into them. I think it was heat. And they had to wear silk gloves on their hands because their hands would stick to the guns. Or they weren't actually touching the guns. They were touching the remotes for the guns, which is another incredible system altogether. So here this guy is on his 34th mission, and his last 3 missions were to fly over Berlin, the most heavily fortified city in the history of the planet Earth. To this day. So they would fly these bombers over Berlin, and the Germans had the 88s. What were they? 88s. Yeah, it's quad 88s, right? Mounted on a, I don't know what. Is that thing that's like, where you turn it with your hands? I don't think so. So quad 88 millimeter cannons. Basically, I don't know how many zillion of those were lying around Berlin, pointed up at the sky. So what the Germans do is they'd use radio waves to figure out what elevation the planes were at, and then they'd fire these 88s, set the detonators for a certain proximity. It was like a certain altitude. They would explode. So how many shells from these millions of 88s they had on the ground? How many shells are going up into the sky and then bursting? And what happens is they would burst, and that's what would create the flak, or the shotgun type blast in all directions that was heading right for your bomber. It was basically an entire plane of altitude. An entire level of altitude was nothing but shrapnel. And you're flying through it. And it wasn't uncommon for your plane to get hit, like hard, like a lot. A lot. So on this plane, the guy's freezing to death, number one. Everybody's freezing to death. And a piece of flak comes up from the bottom of the plane, hits the bottom of the fuselage, goes through the pilot's leg, and goes out the top of the plane. And by the way, they lost 2 engines. So now what happens is they start floating away from they can't keep up with the pack, because they're basically in a pack. So what happens, they start falling behind, and that's when the Luftwaffe comes. The fucking death from the sky comes. You got German fighter jets coming for you now. Jets, propellers. Who knows what year it was? It could have been rocket powered, for Christ's sake. Right? Imagine seeing that. And the guys talk about that. Seeing that fucking rocket powered German plane going by and being like, oh, we lost the war. What the fuck is that? Anyhow. So he not only is the gunner, he's the medic too. All these guys had multiple roles. He goes running over to his buddy. I don't know how he gets disconnected from everything. I guess you twist him off. I don't know. He goes running up to the pilot, and he gives him a shot of morphine. I would have been like, 1 for you, 1 for me. Hey. And then he dumps sulfur all over the wound to, I don't know, cauterize it. So the motherfucker's still flying the plane. Listen, I got news for you right now. I don't care if I'm a pilot. If somebody just blasted a softball-sized hole through my leg, that's it. Flying's over. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe I just grab the wheel and take it down. I gotta get away from this. You probably don't even feel it, right? You got this big hole in your leg. You're like, ah. And your nutsack, you're like, oh, is my nutsack still there? For the love of Christ. So now, picture this. The fucking flak comes up through the bottom of the airplane. Can you imagine? It's got to be like air conditioning set at 1,000,000 miles an hour now. So now you're 40 below, and now the wind is blowing in. Consequently, do you know what saved that pilot? His blood started freezing. It started freezing because of the temperature. That's what saved them. They get drawn back, The Luftwaffe swoops in on them. They're having a firefight in the sky, getting their plane shot to ribbons, until finally some P-51 Mustangs fly in to clean up the show. That's right, baby. By that time, they had those... If there were bombers over Berlin, they had the Merlin engines inside the fucking P-51, right? The Rolls-Royce Merlins. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, England. Let's hold hands. Let's hold hands. That's why I love the English brothers that watch the show. Come on. Rolls-Royce engine in a fucking P-51 Mustang. Let's do it. Arm in arm we fight this war. Any the fuck way. Yeah. The plane gets shot to ribbons. They wind up landing the airplane. It has like no tail shaft. Like a tail. It didn't have a tail on it. It looked like the stealth bomber coming in. That's how they designed the stealth bomber. They're like, I'll be Jesus Christ. I didn't know they could fly without the tail. That's an interesting design. No, respect that. No disrespect to Jesus Christ over there. Listen, when he's in the studio audience, I mean, have a little respect there. Respect there. What are you gonna do? So yeah, he flies home, and then he's got to do that all over again the next day. You don't even know what you're dealing with. You don't even know what you're dealing with. He said they would fly these bombers so close together, sometimes they would crash into each other. There were so many of them. And you see the footage of this shit, and you're just like, and then now I got to watch these two 600-pound slobs on TV cry to me. I love it how people think they're depressed out there. When you think of stories like this, I love how people think they're depressed. I don't know what I should do with my life. You're a fucking loser moron. Men threw their lives away. So you could be the piece of shit that you are today. Remember that. These men did just... I don't mean they threw their lives away. They threw their lives into it. Whatever it was. World War I, World War II, you name it. Fishermen. They just threw their lives in it. Didn't think twice about it. And here you are because of it. You can't squander that. You're not allowed to tell me you're tired. I love people yawning at work that they're tired. What? You're not tired. You're alive. There are men who are dead. Dead! Gave it to us. They gave it to us. Imagine that. They gave us their life. That's unbelievable, man. It really is. Man. You got to get off your dead ass. Honestly. You could do, you know what you could do? You know what these guys, if they could come back, what they would have done? Knowing what they known just before they died? They would have came back here like animals. Men on fire. Building and creating and doing. Not sitting in a shed eating Tootsie Rolls. Oh my God, can this either fucking do something, anything? Oh my God. Guys, Callahan here? Reporting for duty. I got my whole toolbox on top of this scanner right now. And just like that, we're scanning for crimes. Speaking of crimes, hey, listen. Oh! And then he talked about how his very last mission, the plane basically did like a crash landing. No joke. And he got off of that plane and he said he went to his bunk and he went to sleep. And he said he hadn't slept like that in, he just said like slept for what seemed like days. Because he said the whole time you're doing these missions, you don't sleep. Because you don't know whether you're going to die the next one. You don't know whether you're coming back. So he felt so safe now. Imagine he's in the barracks and they bomb the barracks. You're taking that nap and all of a sudden they bomb the barracks. Hitler aimed that fucking cannon that's on rails at you. Jesus Crimler. Oh my God, my hands are going to fall off. Guys, yeah, I'm watching that whole thing about the North Hollywood bank robbers. Do you remember that? That was like 92. I'm sure the demographic of audience I have out here. I guess it's not 18-year-old Brazilian girls. Probably, I'm guessing a bunch of 45-year-old miserable men. So anyway, no, there's oh yeah, in 92, you remember these guys that went into the bank and like they were in full body armor? These fucking guys, I watched a documentary on them. Number one, the one guy, he was born into a family that was on the run from the law. I think the kid was born in the back of a 7-Eleven or something like that. I have no idea. You imagine having a kid on the run? Come on. What do? You cut the umbilical cord, you just stuff it back in? Oh, it's attached to the afterbirth? Oh, I'm throwing up. I'll never forget when my son was born. And then the afterbirth came out. And the doctors are around like my son, they threw him in the incubator. And they're like, all right. And they went over to the afterbirth on this like stainless steel table. It looked like something out of the movie Saw. And they're all like, talking around it. And I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, can we get the, can we get the mucus? I'm talking.
Yeah, Captain, we got the oil filters changed. We're ready when you are.
Okay, it might be just a little while here, Cap. I think they got to weld a pipe down there.
Oil filters changed.
Just wanting y'all to know.
Shut your ass. Oil filter. I thought they were going to tell him the ship is going down. Oh my God. I was watching another show on sailing ships. You kidding me? It was raw footage from the 1920s. This guy brought a video camera on a sailing. He was a sailor, and the sailing ship is one of these 4-masted, incredible ships they had back then to move cargo around in the 1920s. Oh my God, these 4-masted ships, when they have every single sail up, you're like, my God, how much sail and rigging can you get on this boat? The bottom sail weighed 2,000 pounds. 2,000 pounds each. And there was 4 bottom sails. You got 8,000 pounds in bottom sail alone. That's how massive these ships were. And he was a sailor on the ship. And he would say they had every... You say when they go out in a storm and the mast breaks or something like that, you're like, oh no, they're doomed. No. They said we have everything on this ship to rebuild, to completely erect this ship again. Sails. If sails broke, all the sails could rip off. They could sew up new sails like that. Any type of wood, any type of hardware. They had a blacksmith on board. I mean... I mean, hallelujah. Give me my corn-carved pipe. not only that, they hold a cargo load. I forgot how many hundreds of tons it was. This cargo load. And this thing was loaded to the hilt. And they would have to know that there was 300 lines on a board. Every line controlled a different thing. 350, I think it was. They had to know the name of every single line. And if not, that the captain would have his dog bite you. The captain had a dog. And this is German captain, by the way. And he'd been around Cape Horn like 5 times. And that was basically like taking your dick out, like in front of the men. Like you get on this boat, you don't know the captain, but you're like, he's been around Cape Horn 5 times. You're like, oh. And him coming on board is like taking out a cock that looks like, I don't know. Taking out a cock that looks like a hairspray can. All right? And showing everybody. The big Aquanet. And they're like, this guy is king cock on the block. Do you understand? He's been around Cape Horn. So basically whatever he said was law. And then he had an attack dog. So guys would do drills, and if they weren't moving fast enough, he'd sick the dog on them. It was a cute little Jack Russell or something like that. But what the captain would do every day he would grab the dog's snout and squeeze until the dog screamed. And then he'd go, that's for doing nothing. Now try doing something. Back in that 20s voice, eh? And I mean, you'd have to translate that into German. That's for doing nothing, say? Try doing something. Pull the rigging. Bring the rigging down. Put up the jib. For crying out. There goes Rita on my foot. Right on the foot. No respect for the captain. Here he is. I don't know what Captain, look, it's Captain Dickhead Hook. What do you want me to guys, I know. This is it. This is all you're getting today. You want me to tell you right now if I were you, I'd hit the road. I'm freezing to death in here. I don't even know how my brain, I don't even know how I'm talking. To be honest with you. Anyway. They put the ship, they drove it into the North Sea to test it out. It's a new ship, right? They drive it into the North Sea. The men are soaking wet and waves coming overboard. And he's like, this is the North Sea. It's nice. The guy narrating is the guy that filmed it, but it's from like narrated when he was like, I don't know, an older man in the 1980s. And he's like, you stay wet for weeks. No sleep. It was like, 2-hour intervals of sleep, and then you're back on deck, soaking wet in the North Sea, freezing cold. And he's like, this is no big deal. I can't wait to get to the Cape. And I'm like, what? These are like 30-foot waves. And he says, when you get to the Cape, they're 80 feet. I'm like, ha. Anyway, they get to the Cape, and it's like slack water. It's like completely calm. And he's like so devastated. He's like, I came here for, to see action. I wanted to see the Cape. I couldn't even sleep. I was praying so hard for a storm. I'm like, who's praying for a storm around Cape Horn? This is the kind of man this guy was. And he'd climb all the way to the top. What is that? To the top of the mast. And film downward. You're like, Jesus Christ, this thing is huge. And then finally the storm came, of course. And then you can't even imagine. The ship is just getting annihilated at Cape Horn. I'll put a link to the video below. I don't know. Maybe you want to fall asleep. Guys, what are we talking about here? Oh, those North Hollywood shootings. Yeah. So the guy was born basically into a criminal family, and then he wound up becoming like a super genius, like a super criminal mind. He would do like these real estate insurance scams and whatnot, rob people, this type of thing. He always had a hatred for the police because he's constantly seeing his father getting arrested by the cops growing up. So he had this seething hatred for police. And then the other guy was from Romania, and he basically lived like destitute his whole life with his mother. It was just him and his mother. They were getting thrown out of apartments, this, that, the other thing. He was getting picked on at school. I mean, could you imagine being like the Romanian kid at school? If we had a Romanian kid, like when we were growing up, forget about it. He'd be talking in tongues right now, and I don't know, spinning around in a wheelchair. It's the truth. It's the truth. You couldn't be that different. You know what I mean? Like, you could be black, Spanish, this type of thing, but Romanian, we don't even know what the fuck is going on here. Who's your uncle, Dr. Frankenstein? I guess not really. Count Dracula, maybe that would have been more appropriate. At this point. Yeah. Look who it is. It's fucking Jerry Munster. What are you gonna do? Anyhow, he got picked on at school. But it turns out they both met each other at the gym. This is great. And they both had an interest in firearms, so they hit it off and they started, I guess, training together, you know? And are you still awake? No. Anyway, then they, he kind of like the criminal mastermind kid kind of like recruited the other guy, because he was a little bit, not dopey, he was actually very intelligent, but just to himself, easy to lead, perhaps we should say. And there's the crickets at such an appropriate time. So, they did like they robbed a couple of armored trucks together, you know what I'm saying? And like on one of the robberies, they shot a guard. Yeah. I got news for you right now. If you're robbing me, I'm an armored truck guy. Here you go, guys. You guys want the keys to the truck? You drive it where you gotta go. You understand? Here's the code for the ink bag so they don't go off on you. I'm telling you right now, you could take anything. You know what I'm saying? Just take it. Just don't shoot me. I'm gonna sit there and try to be George Superhero for a pile of money inside of a metal truck. Suck my dick. One of the guys got shot. He wanted to be Rambo, Joe Rambo. These are the guys they're hiring. Anyhow, so now they were kind of like in a lot of trouble. So I guess they needed some more scratch. They robbed two banks, and they made off with like $2 million worth of cash, which blows my mind. The idea of robbing a bank. I mean, you couldn't do it now with cameras and everything like that. You just couldn't do it. So these guys, they robbed 2 Bank of Americas. They pull in like $2 million. They buy houses. This is the crazy thing. They buy houses and cars. That would be like the last thing I do. Number one, I'm out of the country. That's it. I go to Denmark, where they have the best tractor pulling in the world. Oh my God! I buy a tractor. Who's gonna suspect? Who's gonna suspect that? They're going to follow that money to Denmark to a tractor pulling purchase? Never. I come out with the 2, you know how they put the World War II bomber, speaking of World War II bombers, Pratt & Whitney rotary engine on there, like 18-cylinder rotary engines? Oh my God. And they have the exhaust that sticks up like pipe organs? Like, what the hell is this monstrosity? I throw like 5 of those engines on a pull sled. Let's go. And then, that's it. And then live my life out there. Banging chicks in Denmark. Oh my God. It's probably the longest legs in town. 10 feet legs. You kidding me? Perfect. Everybody looks like a doll over there. What are you going to do? What are you going to fucking do? Anyhow, I guess I started getting low on scratch again. I mean, this is a losing game. Do you see? I mean, you can't just keep on robbing banks. That can't be like a career move for you. You got to hit one or two and then maybe say, you know what, we'll just stick with that. Anyhow. And then your kid's like, you know, hey, Dad, can I borrow $100? He's like, no, you know, get a job. And your son's like, fuck you, Dad. And you're like, you know how many banks I robbed to support this family? And you don't leak it to anybody? Come on. Come on. You got new neighbors or something like that. They're over for a pool party. You have too many drinks. He's like, hey, Rich, how do you make all your money anyhow? He's like, you really want to know? You lean in with the spatula from the barbecue. You're like, robbing banks, and then you then you both laugh. And you turn around and just start making hamburgers again. Anyhow. They ran low on cash again, but this time they decide to, I don't know, they get the one guy sews, that body armor that you see him wearing, he sewed it himself. And it wasn't Kevlar. It was like some advanced military shit. Yeah. So he was basically impenetrable to small arms fire. Nothing the police had could stop him. He was basically like the Terminator at this point. The other guy opted to wear just a bulletproof vest with armor plate, just in case somebody fires a howitzer at him, because he wanted to stay more mobile so he could run. Already, you have a problem here. I mean, that's not really a good partner. You're lacing up your body armor. You're like, all right, this should do it, and you come out like, hey, like Jack Tripper, and you're like, hey, what's going on here? He's like, well, in case we get into trouble, I want to be the one to be able to run away. And you're like, what? I don't know. That doesn't seem like, I don't know, a good partnership. Yeah, look, I got these getaway rockets mounted on my jacket. Oh, really? Did you make a pair for me? Well, the store was out of rockets. Listen, so they pull, now check this out. They check out the scene for like weeks ahead of time. You know, who's going in and out, what employees, this, that, the other, when's the truck coming, this type of thing. So they got it all figured out. They park in front of the Bank of America. They get out, and there's a fucking rogue cop car that comes by and identifies them and calls for backup. That's the start of a bad bank robbery. They had 8 minutes to get this done. In other words, to go in, it's 8 minutes, and they had to get out. They knew they had to get out before anybody could arrive at the scene. Wouldn't you like set off a bomb on the other side of town just to flush all the police cars over there and jam up traffic and then go rob the bank? Come on, guys. What do I got to do all your criminal work for you? Anyway, they go in the bank. Number one, to tell everybody they mean business, they spray the place. It's like you go in. By the way, they got AK-47s and thousands of rounds. I don't know how, because over 1,000 rounds were fired. So they have thousands. Okay, let's say they have 1,500 rounds, because maybe they were out by the time of the end of the firefight. So that's a lot of roundage to carry. 2 AK-47s with armor-piercing rounds. That's right. It was like depleted uranium. Here we go. So they could basically shoot through anything. They go in and they spray down the bank. That's like, all right, everybody down. Okay, no problem. Once you let off a shot, it's like, all right, what do you want me to do? You want me to sit on that fence post with the fucking ribbon coming out of it that they used to make aisles in a bank? I'll sit on the end of it. No, dry. I'll do it dry. What else you need? Anyhow, he goes to the guy, open up the vault, basically sticks the gun barrel in his head. That's like, the guy's like, I'll open the vault. Hold on a second. I just got to, now that I got this half exploded cigar in my pants. Go to the vault. They open it up, and there's a lot less money than they expected in there because Bank of America did this thing where they shifted the money around at like different intervals. I don't know. Random intervals. So there was like $300,000 in there and whatnot. The guy opens fire on the money. He's so furious. You can imagine being pissed off, right? Anyhow. So they leave the bank. The jig is up. The place is surrounded by cop cars. They got cop cars basically on every road exiting the place. The place is surrounded. I mean, they're dead to rights. Let's face it. So they come out and they put on like the gun show of gun shows. They're blasting holes through cars. They're like shooting police on the other side of their police car. The rounds are going right through cars. So you got a couple of wounded police officers. One guy runs into a dentist's office, and the guy's like trying to patch him up. Number one, I said, stop. The guy like Novocained him, and then dressed him, gave him like a dressing on the wound, and then he said like Connor, what was it? Kyle Reese in Terminator. He said, "That's a nice field dressing." Guys, are you bored to death? I am. So they started shooting up the place. You want to know? I mean, ironically, well, not ironically, what happened was then the police had to break into they didn't break in, they went into a gun store. And they took guns from the gun store. The guy was like, yeah, I'll load them for you and everything. He's basically handing the police guns. And I was thinking to myself, I hope he submitted a receipt to the police department and got his money back. The gun store owner probably got the guns back, right? Because it was all police evidenced. And then he probably got it back 9 months later. Or the guy probably had to go and pick it up. And it was all wrecked and ruined from being thrown on the floor and whatnot. They're collector's items. Where are they now? Where are they now? These guns were used against the North Hollywood shooters. Bank robbers. Holy crimeler. So the one guy that's body armored up, he's just walking around taking shots. Like, they're shooting at him. It's like, ba-ding, ba-ding, and he's still shooting and everything like that. And then finally he gets jammed around in his AK-47. And he's trying to fix it. And a cop gets a lucky shot that blows his thumb off. Ow! That's gotta hurt. I'm sorry. You know, your body's not going into shock for that one. Probably hit the bone and everything. But ding! And the thumb came flying off. Owzer! I hit my thumb on a fan blade once in a car, a running car, and it was like, ba-ding! I was like, ow! Most painful thing on planet Earth! Jesus Crimeler! So you get your thumb blown off, and he couldn't unjam the gun, thumbless. So he threw the AK-47 down. He takes out his handgun, and I think he made a couple futile attempts to shoot people, but then he ultimately put it under his chin. But dang, what are you gonna do? And then the next guy was trying to make a break in a car, and they shot out all the wheels of the car, the police. So he gets out of that car, and there's a Jeep coming down the road, and he fires a round through the windshield of the Jeep. Imagine what the Jeep guy was thinking. Holy shit! So then he goes to like GTA style, like pull the guy out and take his car. The guy hops out of the Jeep, and he takes his keys with him. That's bad luck, man. So he gets in the car, in the Jeep, he's like, I'm out of here. And he goes to turn the key, there's no key. I would have fucking shot the guy in the back. I'm sorry. I'd be like, take the keys, you son of a bitch. I would have been like Chuck Norris in Missing in Action coming out of the water. Do. Come on. Anyway. Then the police come rushing up. Like, this is crazy to me. The guy has an AK-47. He gets out of the Jeep, and the police come rushing up, like, right next to him. I'm like, if I'm a cop, I'm like, hey, listen, guys. Yeah, I'll meet you over there. What's this? Massive shooting? Yeah, I'll meet you over there. I don't know. I make a beeline to Quiznos. You know, for a hot coffee and a fucking Subway sandwich. You get in there, they're like, oh, we're taking hits, you turn your radio off. You're like, yeah, some Russian dressing on that, please. The sandwich tech is like, wow, that sounds like it's pretty bad down there. Yeah. No hot sauce. I don't know, guys. So then the police get out, and now they're pinned behind their car, and this guy's shooting. And one policeman has the wherewithal to look underneath the car, and he sees the guy's ankles there, and he's just like, ba-doop, 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 shooting the guy in the ankles. As the shooter, you got to be like, god damn it. It's like, ow, yowza. Now your ankles don't work. So the guy basically crumbled to the floor, and then they shot him in the legs. They shot his legs up. And then it took like an ambulance an hour and a half to get there. Yeah, no surprises there. They tell the ambulance driver, yeah, just take a cruise around Santa Monica before you get here. Yeah, stop off at the Whiskey A Go-Go and have a couple drinks before you get here. And then so the guy bled out on the floor and basically died. And I love it. His mother was trying to to sue the city. Yeah, I don't know what kind of case you have after your son just basically put the entire fucking downtown area through a fucking bullet hell shooter. This is like a cave bullet hell shooter this morning here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're the reporter. I love it. There was a Spanish reporter out there, too. He was like, bullets going over his head. You say, God, he had a clipboard, too. Okay. He had a microphone and a clipboard. It's like you're in a firefight. You might want to lose the clipboard. He's like trying to hang on to it. It's not the most important thing right now. Anyhow. Yeah, so that was like, I don't know, depressing. Guys, how far, are we this far in right now? Holy shit, it's 48 minutes. Do we even have time for this? Guys, what I wanted to talk about today is something so exciting. It's the idea that I'm so old now that games that I've played when I was younger, I mean fantastic games, I've completely forgotten them. So now I get to re-experience them. This is magic. It's magic. The magic of old age. So what I want to talk about is a game that I vaguely remember. But I remember how awesome it was when I rented it with my buddy VS and we stole Phil's rental code 621. And that game is Herzog Zwei. Picture time. All we need is a controller, tap into the Edison line, pipe through the Sansui 1010, charging atomic batteries, kill lights of attrition, and move you into primetime position. Oh my God. It's very cold. I got the heat on. I know everybody, how come you don't have the heat on? It's on. What's going on here? Yeah, so basically, what was Herzog Zwei? Herzog Zwei? It was, wasn't it Command and Conquer before Command and Conquer? I mean, kind of honestly, No, not at all, right? You're right. I can't remember the game. All I can remember is VS renting it and saying, you got to play this game. And we played it together, and boy, what a blast. Woo! Especially 2 players. It would almost be categorized as like, what the... A strategy shooter? Would you even go that far? I don't know. Let's find out. Stop the yakking and make it happen. Look at this wonderful journey we have to go on. Where is it? Where is it? Genesis. Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, we don't want to see anything, all right? If I'm not mistaken, is Sunsoft? Was Herzog? No, not Sunsoft. Ah, jeez. Technosoft. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. How's that for a start? Here we go. Come on now. This is old school Sega, baby. Yes. Start. M. All right, we're gonna start with the basics. Yes. Yeah. What's going on? Yes. All right, that's the action button. Okay. Jeez, I don't remember. Right. We gotta infiltrate. Where are we going? How do we infiltrate again? Oh, right here, right? Is this mine? I'm going to... Oh my God. Okay. I guess we do gotta look at that map. And we want to go up to the red. Did I say the red? What happened? What is going on here? Oh, wait a second. Am I retarded? Okay, we obviously have a barrier there. Let's go up here. They're giving me the okay signal. What's going on? Guys, I gotta tell you right now, I fucking had it. I know it's a great game, but I don't have time to figure it out right now. God damn you. We're gonna have to go somewhere else to do this. We have anything made for dummies? They had it came from the desert? For the Genesis? Let's just see. Oh, God. Well, that was a tremendous failure. Hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes that's the way it is. I guess I can't title this video after Herzog's Zwei now. Oh boy. Okay. Come on. It's worth the price of admission alone. Oh, jeez. What do we got? Oh, we got a flamethrower right out of the gate. We got these things climbing under us. Oh, my lord. Hold on. Can I shoot them? Cannot. I'm trapped. I'm trapped. What do I do? Oh, I can jump. Damn it. Well, where am I supposed to go? Oh, we have jump? We gotta escape. Come on! Okay, so we got a maze now. Is that what you're telling me? This game is horrendous. It's fucking horrendous. Oh my god. Oh my god. My eyes. Alright. I don't know what we're gonna do here. We're just gonna have to go like this. Boom. Mortal Kombat 2. No. I don't want to play Mortal Kombat. Pac-Man. No! I don't need this right now. What's Onslaught? Oh my lord. It's so bad it's good, right? Oh god, please. Kill me right now. You wanted Sega Genesis music? You got it, pal. Oh, ballistic. We know what we're getting now, right? Frostbite. Okay. Presented already. Oh, good lord. It's like a Man of War album cover. Begin. Okay. Alright. Let's start. I'm ready to start. Oh, don't do this to me. Listen to this music, it's epic. How do you start? This is an epic soundtrack. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck? Oh my god, this is so medieval. Oh, I got a gun! Oh my god! No, no, no! Alright, we gotta keep it moving here. Oh! I can't believe I had that gun. Look at this guy, he's dying over here. Oh, shit! What happened to my weapon? Another dead guy. Here we go, ready to bash this guy's brains in. Ready? Ah! Oh yeah, grenades! Look at, I'm giving everybody the Malouk! Getting the Malouk! Ah, they're getting the Malouk! Take that! Look, there's a spell up here. Cast your spell. Ah! This game is nuts! What the fuck is going on? Oh, I shot the cannon guy right in the face. Take that, asshole. Take that right in your face. Ah! Where's the Malouk? I need the Malouk guy. Guys, I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I got snot running out of my nose like aqua lung. Guys. Do you realize you just tuned in to the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization? And you better believe that. With the 4K Vice! We'll see you next time. Guys, we have an advices program on Patreon, okay? You're sick and tired of these guys that are taking testosterone replacement therapy on YouTube telling you how to live your life when they were nothing but shriveling, dickless cowards before. That's why they had to go to the doctor and get their shots. And now they're a real man that's going to tell you how to live your life, how to train for physical health and fitness when they've basically attained an 18-year-old's body hormones again. These are not real men. You want a real man with real advices. We're not taking TRT over here. That's right, my dick is shriveling up. That's a real man. I'm not driving around in a McLaren. I wouldn't even want a McLaren at this point because I'd look like a guy on TRT. That's right. These fucking dickless TRT using gurus that run around they've ruined the supercar for everybody. Who wants to own a Lamborghini or Ferrari anymore? I want to gas like a real man. Ask advices. Here's my email. We give you wonderful advices just like this. Let me tell you something. Go out with a white chick these days, and number one, you got to take the needle out of their arm. What's your name, sweetheart? She's like, what's with the shiny thing? Like, suit of armor, bitch. Start blowing. I got a hatch down here for blowjobs. Listen, my mother watches. You never took a shit in the shower? I know, you want to throw yourself down a staircase. I don't blame you. I do too. Guys, if you have problems in your life, send me your problems with this email, and I'll solve them. Just like... And then that's it, you're free. Patreons, my nose is running. I just want to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. We'll see you next time.